yourself into your favorite characters. Who do you want to be today? This is DIY Cosplay Shop. What's up, guys? My name's Elizabeth Rage, and I am here at the Midsummer Scream Halloween Festival in Long Beach, California. Here with me is Vinny Lagozio from DIY Prop Shop.
Hey.
We're making some props and costumes today, right?
We're making the props and the costumes.
And the costumes. What you making?
I'm working on the Freddy Krueger glove today.
And I will be making the nurses from Silent Hill. So grab an extra pair of underwear, people, because things are about to get pretty spooky.
Oh, crap.
All right, so today we're gonna be doing the Silent Hill nurses. Now this is a really, really awesome cosplay to do with all of your friends because it's a big group. You can have as many as you want. So today I have my super awesome friends, Ashlyn Day and Reagan K. May, here to help me out with this build. Let's get started. So this build is relatively simple. We've got a hat, we've got a mask, we've got a dress, we've got tights and shoes, and tying that all together is the distressing paint and makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the hat and the dress. Now, if you saw Vinny's episode from last week, you'll know that it was super, super duper loud at this convention. They don't call it Midsummer Scream for nothing, lots of screaming. So for this episode, there's gonna be mostly voiceover. First things first, let's cut out our pattern and fabric. I found a pattern for a button-down shirt dress with a collar that looked pretty similar to what the nurse costumes look like. It's a pretty lucky find pattern-wise. We also decided to go with a white stretch leather for the fabric because it would give us a really nice tight fit and a wet and slimy look. Since I'm going to be using the same fabric for the hat, I'm going to need to apply some fusible interfacing to the wrong sides to make sure that it stands up nice and stiff. Insert joke here. Once you have all your pieces cut out, it's time to sew them together. I started by sewing the darts first, then the side seams and shoulders. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try on the dress while it's still inside out. This way, Ash can come in and help me pin fit it to my measurements. Then just take it in or let it out as much as you need to make it fit you perfectly. So now Ash is gonna help me make my mask. Now we're gonna do this the super, super duper DIY way using plaster bandages and a plastic bag. So please, please, please be careful if you're gonna put a plastic bag over your head. Do it with a friend. Don't do it by yourself. You don't wanna hurt yourself. And there is probably a better way to do this, but this is what we got here and now. So let's get to it. As you or your friend are laying your plaster bandages over your face, make sure not to make it too thick. In hindsight, I probably made mine a little bit too thick right now, using about 3 or 4 layers of plaster bandages, but 2 or 3 would totally suffice. Bring the plaster bandages down about halfway down your head so you leave enough room to take it off. You can cover the back later with a wig cap or more bandages or anything you think fit. We ended up using a wig cap and sprayed it to look like brains coming out the back. Once you have it off your head and onto a mannequin, the rest is really up to you. Start designing your mask to make it as gruesome as you'd like. Just make sure not to cover your nose and eye holes too much. You still want to be able to see and breathe. You're not completely dead yet. Now comes the fun part of painting and distressing. I'm using just a little bit of fabric paint and dry brushing it onto the fabric. You can do this for your hat, your dress, and your shoes. Now you want to focus the darker parts on the areas where you think dirt will accumulate, like seams and edges. The last thing we have to do before we start painting ourselves is to paint our mask. We're gonna turn this into something like this. Every mask can be different, which is one of my favorite parts about this build. So I'm gonna start with a tan color on this and then go from there, adding depth with darker colors and then blood and gore. It's gonna be really gross and I'm really excited. For your mask, you want to start painting with a light colored base coat. Then you can go in with black or dark red or brown or any other color you like to go in for your shadows. And then go ahead and add some red and brown and sepia tones for blood. Now that everything else is painted, it's time to get myself painted as well. I'm going to use my trusty airbrush machine and some European Body Art airbrush makeup. I'm going to have to go in and pale out my arms in order to match the tights. Then using blues, grays, and reds, I'm gonna make some dark veins and blood vessels. It might be good to have a friend help you out with this to get those hard to reach places. You wanna be completely covered in bruises and veins and disgustingness. Remember, whether you're painting your shoes, your dress, or yourself, it's all about building up layers. Especially when you're doing body paint, I like to start with a modeling layer, which is where I go in with my airbrush and apply a bunch of squiggly lines to give my skin more texture, and then go over that with more colors and veining and detail work. To make these costumes extra menacing, Vinny offered to make us some knives with some of his leftover thermoplastic. We all know how Vinny loves his thermoplastic. I absolutely adore doing group cosplays. It's really my favorite way to do it. Having the camaraderie of friends around you while you're in costume is such an incredible feeling, and it certainly draws a crowd. So that is how you make the nurses from Silent Hill. I had a really great time here at Midsummer Scream. Did you?
Yeah, I did, and it looks great.
Thanks. Make sure you check out DIY Prop Shop to see how Vinny made his Freddy Krueger glove. It's pretty awesome.
Hey, get out of here.
Also, let us know what convention you want us to show up to next. We would love to do a live tutorial for you wherever. And until next time, my name's Elizabeth Rage.
I'm Vinny Lagozio.
And now you can cosplay.
Dude, this is sick. Dude, where'd you go?
It is sick.
Yeah, it is sick.
It is sick.
Argue with him on that.
He's not lying.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you want to see more and tell me what to build next. Crossovers, mashups, we'll do it all. And don't forget to subscribe.